Spider's back! No time left for Ambrosie. 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 Ambrosie, you're fired! You're fired! Spider's back. I'm going to go right into this session. I'm going to have another one after this, and I'm going to make up for not being around for 2 months. I'm going to have one on Saturday for Grey Cup Saturday, and then one after the Grey Cup. Hopefully on Monday and Tuesday. So, hey, I'm going to do, 4 of them for you and make up for I haven't been around for 2 months. And I had, again, some health issues I've been dealing with. You reach a certain age and they became favorable, but I had to go through a lot of different tests and so forth and get some things back that I had to know where I stood, in my life and my life expectancy and my longevity that I have. Well, I shouldn't use the word longevity, but what I have remaining in my life to live on this planet as Spider. CFL Super fan Spider, but I'm back and I'm better. So anyway, I just want to thank all you for, hopefully you'll come back and watch my videos because this is an important one. And Randy Ambrosie just did a State of the League, and hey, the 111th Grey Cup, 5 more days in Vancouver. That sold about 48,000. It holds 54.5. So, they're probably only getting a 2 or 3. Winnipeg's been traveling for 5 Grey Cups. I think they're running out of money, the fans, but I'm going to probably get more into the semi and final Eastern and Western final in my next session. But this section I'm going to talk about Randy Ambrosie being fired. Apparently 5-4 owners, so you can figure out the owners and the State of the League that he just did at 8 o'clock this morning Vancouver time. I don't think he liked that, getting out of bed, He probably couldn't have enough donuts and coffee, before he did this, because I'm telling you something. The reason I'm saying that because I'm sure the mandate for Halifax expansion was part of that firing, 5-4 by the governors, but you can figure out who they are because he sucked up the dome and BC, of course, gave him a Grey Cup. It wasn't him. I believe it was Toronto, how he handled the Chad Kelly thing. And anyway, he went overboard with that. I mean, if it was so bad, then why wasn't he charged? Why isn't it a criminal investigation? Well, harassment's a big difference between rape. But I don't know. All I'm trying to say is that I think he went overboard with it. I think it was a lot of money involved at the CFL. I mean, the Toronto Argonauts had to pay out. CFL didn't have to pay out anything, but Chad Kelly had to pay out. If it was real rape, he raped her, then why wasn't it in the courts? I don't think he was in charge with a criminal offense. I don't know, but all I know, there was in the State of the League, if you watch it on the CFL site right now, you can watch it. He must have, the hour and 14 minutes, he must have talked 25 minutes in that because, you got reporters there that are radical leftist, Trudeau, his crew. That's all they do. That's all they do. That's all the shit they talk about. And so that was a disgrace, right? But the first question he was asked was on Halifax expansion. I'm going to get into that because I live in Halifax and I know what the heck's going on here. And Randy Ambrosie answered, if you go back, I want you to go back and look at it. You've got to go back and look at it. Yeah, there's no time left for you because you're out on your ass. You deserve to be out there. Before I get into what he said about the first question he was asked, and by the way, he took up so much time bullshitting again with Kate and then they might have had like a half hour or less to ask him questions, which is bullshit, right? But he bullshitted his way through the whole thing again, and that's why he's no longer 7 years of him, you know. And Mark Cohen decide with the women's semi-pro soccer league. Why didn't they rehire him as commissioner? Like Randy Ambrosie should have been fired 4 years ago, you know. Anyway. Or 3 years ago, because after his 4-year deal, or I don't know if he signed a 5-year, I don't know. But anyway, let's look at the 5-4. Okay, look, I would say Ottawa got him out. I'd say even Hamilton might have got him out. Toronto for sure. So I would say Montreal got him out, even though he wasn't responsible for getting that new owner. It wasn't him. Like he takes all the credit for it. No. The owner came fourth, you know. He's the guy responsible for buying the Alouettes, right? Not Ambrosie. He takes all the credit for it. He didn't do anything. He was useless, you know. Like he's always been as commissioner, and he's too political. By the way, I'm going to get into that. He's a radical leftist liberal, and he's destroyed the Edmonton Eskimos franchise practically. Almost buried it, bankrupted, come up with an owner that probably didn't even vote for him. I'll talk about the Grey Cup bid for 2026 as well, probably next session, okay? Okay, on that as well. But he destroyed, with Trudeau playing the race card for votes, the last election, took away the Edmonton Eskimos name and basically bankrupted the franchise. Fans all walked away. That was Ambrosie. So I can't see like even the new owner voting for him, because he wasn't responsible. It was the people in charge, the new team, like the guy that was hired. I forget his name. He was hired from Edmonton to find a new owner, to take over, to try to keep him afloat, and then find a new owner. But it wasn't Ambrosie. It wasn't Ambrosie. So Calgary definitely didn't vote for him. I can guarantee you that. Even though he tried to get their probably support by giving them a great. I'll get over about who won the 2026 bid for the Grey Cup and why next session, okay? But I want to get into Ambrosie and Ambrosie. Oh yeah, okay. Let's talk about who voted for him. BC owner. He has him in his bag, right? And I would say, let's look at the other Western franchises. Saskatchewan Roughriders didn't vote for him. I can tell you that much. Look at Saskatchewan; they're all empty seats. Half the stadium's full. They didn't vote for him. And Winnipeg Blue Bombers did, because he's in bed with the CEO, with Miller. I think he played college football with him, and they're like the Canadian Mafia. Like, hey, I don't even watch the NFL. I'm as Canadian as it gets, but. Yeah, he screwed the Stampeders when the Bombers played. Like he screwed them, and on penalties that weren't even penalties. So the Bombers could get in the Grey Cup, and that's not how you get in the Grey Cup. And Dickinson was right. Dave Dickinson called him the Canadian Mafia, because it's true. Because you got O'Shea, you got Ambrosie, who fought the CFL in court when they wanted to get rid of the Canadian ratio. And he went on about the Canadian. I'll talk about. He went on the state line about the Canadian ratio. I made a few notes. Just want to be sure I cover everything. Okay, so it was BC, it was Winnipeg, like I explained why. It might have been Hamilton and Vancouver. That's it. The rest of them kicked his ass out. And who's going to be the next commissioner? That's going to be the real thing. But let's just go over. I make sure I cover everything. Okay, that. I made some notes about the state of address that you got to watch, okay? You have to, here we go. I have to move this, okay, because we're getting sun now, which isn't good. Just as I thought, okay? All right, hopefully it's not on me now. Okay, it still is. I move back a little there, baloney. I can move over a bit. Isn't that something? That's a problem, you know? I don't want to ruin the session where the sun's firing on cylinders on me. If I move over, will it be worse or better? I got a halo. Ah, what a drag. That's had to happen. Yeah, it's still happening. I'm sorry. This has screwed up my session now. I'm very sorry about this. it's just terrible what happens here, you know. You try so hard, and then you just get so, things happen. Yeah, things happen, and it's getting worse here, and I can't do anything about it. I'm sorry right now. I don't know what I can do. I have to do something here. Okay, just a sec. I have to do something to hold this up here. I don't know if it will or not. Sorry about this, people. I'm very, very sorry this happened. I'm sorry. Isn't that something? Screwed it up and it's still happening. Anyway, we're still going to go on. I have to move back, okay? Anyway, so, yeah, he talked, the first question is asked about Halifax expansion. So I'm going to try to roll it up here so I didn't, what I lost in time here. So, a little more, you know, a quicker fashion here. It'll catch up. Because I want to cover all these very important points. He lied through his teeth about Halifax expansion. Again. He went on about a month and maybe how he said something about crumbs. He laid some crumbs. Yeah, did you ever crumble? You lying, bullshitter, Ambrosie. Like, he came here, the touchdown landing, St. Mary's, and he basically said he had an owner in place, ready to go. They said to build a stadium. He never had an owner in place. He's a liar. He's a bullshitting liar. And you know what he said? The same thing. Oh, they got to pull, like Halifax got to pull him. What do you mean Halifax got to pull you in? You got to do your job and go down, you got to sell it. You never even met with a premier, never met with the city. You never put a proposal together why there should have a CFL franchise in the right size stadium in Halifax. You did nothing. Well, you put together CFL committee. Where the hell, what did you, expansion committee, whatever happened to them? You clown, you did nothing. You bullshitted. All you did was in Halifax at the touchdown landing, the last one said you just bullshitted. Bullshitted everybody here. Lied to everybody. Lied. That's why St. Mary's, that's why Mr. Scott, he told me they never have no discussions with Bros. He's just the one. He never came back. He never did nothing with his Grey Cup expansion committee. He did nothing. He didn't meet with mayors, with Premier Houston. He didn't meet with crooked leftist Mayor Savage. So it's gone. They got another one in there now. Fillmore. He's another radical leftist. Like this. Look at. I don't want to get into Halifax. What's happening in the city? They've destroyed it. They destroyed it. Trudeau and his gang down. They destroyed Halifax. Anyway, Randy Ambrosie. You bullshitted to Halifax about expansion through your teeth. You're a liar. You had no new 10th franchise owner. You're a bullshitter. You're a bullshitter. And then he went on about they asked him about expansion in the U.S. No, wouldn't do that because of the Canadian ratio. Oh, and before he contradicted, he says, oh, we shouldn't just call, we have great Canadian, we shouldn't call them Canadian. We should say they're great players. Then he contradicted himself because he was on the CFL, Players Association, or Canadian Players Association, and he took the CFL in court years ago when the owners wanted to get rid of the Canadian ratio so they could play the best players. And then he bullshitted about the global, saying he did that so the best players are playing. So, are you kidding me? And then he goes on about so many Canadian players in the NFL. How does that help the CFL when you have a unrealistic, unattainable Canadian ratio that's nothing but political and bias, and because of you know, that's all you talk about. You never said a damn thing about an American player, not once. All you talked about Canadian players and Canadian ratio, shoving it down our throat. Saying, oh yeah, so the global 2.0 was to allow the best players to play in the CFL. Playing the CFL. Are you kidding me, you lying bullshitter and Ambrosie? The Canadian ratio doesn't allow the best players to play in the CFL. Yeah, there's some better Canadian players, but 36 of them are down in the NFL. That's a whole team. Are you kidding me? It's all watered down. There's too many Canadian players that are only on the CFL, and that's why the CFL, the teams are so weak. There's 70% of the teams weak because of the Canadian ratio, because you can't have a professional football league, 3-down professional football league, but half or more of the players have to be Canadian guaranteed on the roster, and 8, not 7 like Dave Naylor and all them lie, it's 8. Read the CFL rules. Go on and read it. It's 8. Canadians now, they got to start 8, not 7, and they start 10. The American players are being screwed. The Canadian ratio is destroying the CFL, And that's why teams are so weak. They can't play their best receivers. They can't recruit the best O-linemen to protect their investments in their star quarterbacks. They have to play, you talk about crumbs, Randy Ambrosie, right, they have to play crumb Canadian guaranteed ratio roster and starter players on the field have no business being on the field that are 3rd and 4th and 5th rate CIS players. No wonder you're shipping them over to Japan like you talk about, works, like, are you kidding me? Like, unless these owners with a new commissioner smarten up and the Canadian ratio is abolished and they shut down the Canadian Players Association because they had the majority of the vote, 465, they control and run the CFL and into the ground, then the CFL will be bankrupt. The CFL will go down. Look at the empty seats. And then Ambrosie talked to when he was with Kate, when he was asked about what was his why do you, the best accomplishment, or what do you think was the best thing for the CFL of the year? He said, FFE, fun, fast, and entertainment. No, you flunky. F's for flunky. The other F's for failure. And the E should be a double E for empty with an S, seats all throughout the CFL. You clown, you flunky. Yeah, and asked about, Justin Doug, about the franchise. Yeah, this is important value in the CFL because the NHL is going way up 35%, and all professional franchises that are successful leagues, not like Ambrosie, when he said, asked about how attendance went up 2%. Are you kidding me? Are you committing 2% increase? Are you kidding me? And then he said revenues went up 7%. It's probably bullshit because a lot of the numbers like that exaggerate in the attendance. All you got to do is open your eyes and look at all the empty seats. Saskatchewan used to be a viable, one of the top franchises and probably worth the most too, worth $100 million, I believe. It's not worth that now. Look at all the empty seats. Like even in the semi-final playoff game, half the stadium was empty. Probably, I bet there wasn't even 20,000 people there. They exaggerate the numbers. Ambrosie does that all the time. Ambrosie is a pathological liar. He believes his own lies. He makes up bullshit to cover his ass. That's what he's always done. He's useless. He's lazy. He's not one bit energized. He's not aggressive. He knows nothing about business. He knows nothing about marketing. He doesn't know how to make a presentation. He's brutal. He's so full of shit, that's why. You know? I just want to make sure, I want to just go over this notes because I want to really make sure. Yes, Ambrosie. Yeah. Talked about Chad Kelly does a cover-up all the time, 25 minutes or more, you know? Ambrosie, unbelievable. Just full of shit, right? You know? Full of shit. And asked about the CBS ratings. Now they're in the ratings, right? Well, they won the numbers. And they won the numbers in CFL Plus. The numbers. He couldn't give any numbers because they don't have any numbers. He just had a contract. Their numbers aren't very good, I'm sure. And, you know, the Global 2.0, that's the biggest, like, it's just the biggest snow job you ever seen in your life. And I want to add a point to that. The Global 2.0, they have to have now at least one global player, right, on the roster and on the team, okay? And if they start, it takes away another American position. Can you imagine that? And all this bullshit about nationalized American player, like, are you kidding me? Only allowed 25 steps a game. That's just so bullshit. And then his other bullshit scam is if you play more Canadians, well, you've been playing more than the 8 guaranteed starters and more than half the roster, then you get more draft picks. That's how brutal the CFL is, and that's how political it is, and leftist is. It's leftist run. He's a radical leftist liberal. He took away the Edmonton Eskimos name with Trudeau. to get votes for Trudeau and destroyed the Edmonton Eskimos and destroyed at the same time the CFL, our brand. The empty seats are atrocious. I mean, it's insane the amount of empty seats in the CFL in every stadium. Every stadium. The only one was Winnipeg that did really well in attendance, okay? And I'm really, really upset, and I have a good reason to be upset. A good reason to be upset. You see, I have no schooner bottles out here because Halifax franchise, you lied about the Halifax Schooners. You lied, Ambrosie, about having an owner in place. You bullshitted about a stadium. You did nothing. You did nothing. You're a bullshitter. Oh, they have to pull me in. What do you mean, pull you in? Pull you in? You got to pull them in, you idiot. You Ambrosie idiot. Yes, and you screwed my rule, my CFL Red Zone rule, didn't you? You lied about my CFL Red Zone rule. I'm going to go into that in the next session, how you screwed me on that, you liar. Exactly what you are, you bullshitter, radical leftist bullshitter. Commissioner, you're not a commissioner, CFL commissioner. They should have brought back Mark Cohen. Look at his numbers. He filled stadiums. He wasn't political. He would have reduced the Canadian ratio, which needs to be reduced or completely abolished. And if you have to take the Canadian Players Association down, that's basically run by Canadian players, 465, they have the majority vote, you take them down. You shut the league down. You take them down. You abolish them. Because you have to allow the best available players to play in the CFL at every position for entire CFL game like every other professional sports league, including MLS soccer. And Ambrosie, you radical leftist, and Ambrosie, Canadian ratio, mafia guy, that's all you are. That's all you are. You destroyed the CFL. You don't even mention the American players. You take the American players away from the CFL, every team will fold tomorrow. And Ambrosie, lying bullshitter, and Ambrosie. Yes, I'm pissed off. And then you talked about your stupid hash mark in the state of league, how it did so great for the league. Hash mark. Hash mark? That hash mark is a joke. It's a gimmicky joke. It's bullshit. That's what it did. Nothing. My CFL Red Zone will blow your stupid hash mark, gimmicky little hash pipe rule out of the water, Ambrosie. You must have been stoned. Like, you must have been smoking hash, like, for 2 days to come up with that rule. With, maybe you're smoking with Huff, nigger, Nagel. I don't know. He should be gone, by the way. He shouldn't be there in Canadian for the Stampeders anymore. And I don't give a shit what I say, because that hash mark. And by the way, all these people in the CFL Rules Committee, and I got to get one person to be sold on my rule. There are, but they're too scared because Ambrosie shut it down, and his people like Hoffning, they bringing in a hash mark rule, not even willing to look at my CFL Red Zone rule that will blow your hash pipe rule out of the water and blow it out. Not only blow it out, it will eat it for lunch. Okay? And I'm going to go over that next session too. So let me see. Yes, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off. Yes, I covered everything. I believe I did everything he said. Yes, I did. I covered everything, and I basically off the cuff. But next session, I'm gonna do next session. I'm gonna talk about the playoffs. What's going on with the playoffs? Happened in the semis and in the Eastern and Western final, and the TV numbers. And I'm going to go over who won the bid for the 2026 Grey Cup bid. And by the way, I'll go over into particulars and why there was only 2 bids too. I want to go over all that. I'm going to also, Brad McDonald left, he said something really nice, and he asked him was going to the Huskies. The Husky singers, Huskies did well. They should have beat Bishops, my God. And went to triple overtime. They should have beat them. Anyway, he was hoping to see me at a CFL game, but I've got to talk a lot about what I'm going to do with my rule too, the next session in relation to the 2026 Grey Cup, and also what I'm going to do during this Grey Cup with my rule, how I have a plan of getting it out there more, and backing people in the corner, and I'm gonna even try to blitz it on radio. I have a plan to do that too. I'm gonna go over all that, okay? So I have 2 minutes to talk to you. I just wanted to thank you. Yes, I wanted to thank you for all the support and all the views. Okay, I know, sorry about the camera situation. I know I need a new camera, and I'm looking at it, but the thing is, I want one with a remote. I know you can get one with a remote now, or buy a remote that has a sensor built in, but I need video. I need a video situation, because there's no, I don't have, this is not a smart monitor or anything like that. Smart TV monitor. It doesn't have Chromecast connection. It's an old monitor, but I run video jacks, and I need a camera that runs video jacks over too. Okay, that's important to me, because I have a good setup, because I can monitor what's going on and see if everything's in line properly, the color balance, everything, the sharpness, everything, the lighting, like I could see there. I wouldn't notice that. And that's why it's so important. And by the way, I'll never go to a green screen, fake green screen, and have graphics and all that. No, I'm gonna always have an authentic set. Everything's gonna be authentic. I'm from the old school, but it takes me a lot of time to you know, an hour and a half or more to set this up. And I'm gonna keep it up, by the way, for the next sessions, which is coming back to back, another session, and right away after this, and then one on Saturday before the Grey Cup, and then one after the Grey Cup. So I'm going to make up for being away for 2 months. But I just want to thank you for all your views and all your support. Please subscribe. I never asked, even when I first started, I was getting 500 reviews. Now I got 601, actually now 641. And I never asked for anybody to subscribe. So please subscribe. So please do that. Please support me. I want you back. I want you as an audience. I want your support. And I call a spade. That's what I do on this show. No remakes, everything's live. And I tell it the way it is. And yes, I get upset, but I have a good reason to get upset. We'll see you next session right after this. Spider. Here comes Spider's CFL Red Zone Rule. Yeah! Yeah! Spider, the Spider CFL Red Zone Rule.